You're on. Uh-oh. I apologize. I muted everyone when I started the session.
All right. Hello, everybody. It's 3 o'clock by my clock on the October 6th, and I'm calling to order this meeting of the BOPEC for the Elections Commission. Secretary, will you read the instructions and then take the roll call, please?
I will. I am so sorry. Of all things, that is the one thing I forgot to do.
Oh, there's Andrew.
Oh, Andrew's here. Okay, good. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry.
Isn't it just on the top of the agenda? Is there something?
Sure, I'll do that. But we normally have, the other parts where we explain.
Yeah, I think you can just read from the top of the agenda.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, thank you for joining the meeting. Pursuant to the Governor for the State of California's Executive Order N2-20 and the 24th supplement of the mayoral proclamation declaring the existence of a local emergency, the Budget and Oversight of Public Elections Committee, BOPEC of the Elections Commission shall meet remotely for its October 6, 2021 special meeting. This meeting will be held on the WebEx platform. Members of the public will be able to view the meeting online, but make a public comment by telephone only. In addition to participating in real time, interested persons are encouraged to participate in this meeting by submitting public comment in writing by 12 p.m. on October 6, 2021 to martha.delgadillo@sfgov.org. For video conferencing, accessing the meeting by using the WebEx application, you can use the link that is supplied on the agenda. The event number is 2493-865-2414. The event password is lowercase c 2 uppercase g lowercase gt uppercase j lowercase y uppercase nq86. You may enter your name before joining the meeting, but you are not required to do so in order to participate. For audio conferencing, to access the meeting by telephone, call 655-0001. That number again is 415-655-0001. For global call-in numbers, we also have a link supplied on the agenda, and you can use the same access code, that is 2493-865-2415.
All right, thank you very much. Item number 1, call to order and roll call, please.
Okay. Chair Bernholz?
Yes, here.
Okay. Vice Chair Jung?
Oh, well, this is Charles Jung. I'm here. I'm not the vice chair.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Then Commissioner Jung?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm sorry. And Commissioner Chapel? Okay. With 3 in, I'm sorry, were you going to say something, Lucy? No? Okay. With 3 here, then we meet quorum.
Great, thank you. Item number 2, general public comment on any issue within the EC's BOPEC Commission general jurisdiction that is not covered by another item on this agenda. Is there any public comment?
I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, moving on. Item number 3, resolution on continuing remote teleconferencing for BOPEC per AB 361. Discussion and possible action on resolution making findings to continue utilizing the teleconferencing for meetings. Thank you to the City Attorney's Office for providing this memorandum. As I understand it, BOPEC will need to vote on this resolution, first identifying, or the resolution provided by the Deputy City Attorney's Office finds as follows. Item number 1, that as described above, the state of California and the city remain in a state of emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic. At this meeting, BOPEC has considered the circumstances of the state of emergency, Finding number 2, as described above, state and city officials continue to recommend measures to promote physical distancing and other social distancing measures in some settings. And finally, number 3, as described above, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, conducting meetings of this body in person would present imminent risks to the safety of attendees, and the state of emergency continues to directly impact the ability of members to meet safely in person. And therefore, the resolution states that for at least the next 30 days, we would be meeting by teleconferencing. Any comment or questions on the resolution or the background memo provided by the city attorney's office? I just realized I'm only talking to attorneys here. The question I have for you, Deputy City Attorney Shen, is do I need to read this entire resolution into the record, or does the written version of it suffice?
You don't need to read the entire resolution.
Oh, fabulous.
And my condolences for dealing with only attorneys.
With no comment, can I get a motion to approve the resolution, please?
So moved.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Jung. Second?
You did.
Thank you, Commissioner Chapel. Is there any public comment?
Yes, there is. We have one hand raised. I will unmute you, caller, and you will have 3 minutes to comment. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
It's our old friend David Pilpel, your friendly neighborhood member of the public. And I believe that neither John Arntz, nor Martha, nor myself are licensed and practicing attorneys in California. So we're not all attorneys. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with attorneys. They're great people. Okay, on this particular item, on page 2 in the last whereas clause, I would perhaps state it as whereas the Elections Commission, Budget and Oversight of Public Elections Committee. I think that would be a little more clear on page 3. I think the first further resolved was fine, and I think in the final further resolved, I would capitalize secretary, and there was a typo in the city attorney's template, and so again, I would capitalize secretary in the second to last line, but I've been trying to get the language to read to place such a resolution rather than a such resolution, which is driving me nuts. Those are my suggestions. I read the city attorney memo. I take issue with only one section of it. We don't have to talk about that here, but I think the the resolution is properly before you, and I would encourage you to pass it with those minor edits. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
No, I'm not going to law school. I'll end it there. Thanks.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second and some very useful edits to the resolution. Would you call the vote, please, Secretary?
Sure. Chair Bernholz, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Jung
Yes.
and Commissioner Chapel. With 3 in the affirmative, the motion passes.
Moving on to item number 4. And just to clarify, actually still on item number 3, the Elections Commission itself will need to repeat this process, correct? Okay. Item number 4, approval of minutes of the previous meeting, discussion and possible action on the June 9th, 2021 meeting minutes. Thank you, Secretary Delgadillo, for including these. Any comment by commissioners? Questions, comments? None. Okay. A motion to approve.
We do have someone who would like to make a public comment.
They do that after a motion and a second.
I'm sorry.
Is there a motion to approve?
And move to approve the minutes for the June 9th meeting.
Thank you. Second.
I'll second.
Great. Public comment.
I will unmute you, caller. There you go.
David Pilpel again. I did communicate with Secretary Delgadillo earlier and suggested some incredibly non-substantive edits. If you really want, we can go through those. If you want to grant discretion to Secretary Delgadillo to incorporate as she sees fit. If you want to bring it back, it's entirely up to you. But I can assure you, nothing was intended to change any of the outcome or any of the anything here. Just to clarify. Thanks.
Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, could you call the vote, please?
Sure. Chair Bernholz,
Yes.
Commissioner Jung,
Yes.
and Commissioner Chapel.
Yes.
Okay, with 3 in the affirmative, the motion passes.
Fabulous. Thank you. Finally, item number 5, assessment of the September 14th, 2021 gubernatorial recall election. Discussion and possible action on assessment of the September 14th, 2021 gubernatorial recall election. First of all, let me thank Director Arntz for, again, under extremely difficult circumstances, managing a robust, free, fair, and functional election from my observations and from these reports, and also for providing us with these reports in such timely fashion. Let me ask either of the attending commissioners if they have any questions for Director Arntz. No questions. Okay. I think it's a single question. It might be, well, a couple of questions. I always find the incident reports fascinating. I must have gotten that from our former colleague, Commissioner Donaldson. I was just wondering, as I scrolled through it, they looked familiar to me. I'm always incredibly impressed at the rapid pace with which the city is able to solve these problems all over, the department's able to solve these problems all over the city. I guess my question for you, Director Arntz, is, did you notice anything different or unusual in this from other elections?
Mostly no. I did see more coworkers struggling with the voting equipment in the morning, especially trying to log into the equipment.
Yeah.
Setting it up. And my thinking there is it might be a result of the online training that we've moved to in relation to having classes and the equipment in the classroom setting for every meeting.
Yeah.
Still, it was, considering the scope of the issues, the number of polling places, there weren't a lot, but that's something I'm keeping my eye on, and something I want to talk to folks here about for the next election, probably in February. But otherwise, no, I mean, the issues were pretty much what we experienced. We did get all the polling places open on time on election morning, which I was concerned about, this being like a off-schedule election in September, when we never have an election in September in San Francisco. But no, overall, I think it went well. I think we responded well. There's always issues with it, but I think we responded well to all the issues that were presented.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I was wondering about that. Having done the poll worker training myself, the inability for people to actually get their hands on the equipment seems like it. I mean, that's such an important way to learn how to do this. That, yeah, glad you're keeping track of that. Not surprised. I have one other question, which may be just my lack of understanding. But when I look at the preliminary vote by mail ballot report, the third column over, challenge not counted vote by mail ballots, all the way down at the bottom where it says 47 voter already voted. And then I look at the preliminary PV ballot report, which is the other one, and I look at the column challenge not counted at the bottom, 101, which according to the final column is vote by mail ballot received and accepted. I guess my assumption would be that those two numbers would be the same, but one is 101 and one is 47. Am I just misunderstanding the category, or?
No, you don't. You're not misunderstanding the category, but the relation's probably not as clear to you. So with the 47 voter already voted vote by mail, those are people that received more than one vote by mail ballot for whatever reason. They might have moved, they might have requested a second ballot because they lost it. So they lost it. They found it and they sent it back to us after they've already sent another ballot to us. So when a person gets more than one ballot, first one back wins. And so we challenge the second ballot. On the provisional side, it's a different process. That's at the polling places.
Right.
So they've already sent their ballot back to us. They don't realize it. And they go to the polling place. And even though we indicate that the ballot has been received, they still want to vote. And so then we don't deny them the opportunity to vote, even though our records are indicating even at the polling places that they've already voted their vote by mail ballot. So that's what you're seeing on the PV report is people that have returned their vote by mail ballots, have gone to the polling place, even though we know they've voted, they still request a provisional ballot, but then we challenge it once we do the processing.
That's super helpful. Thank you for clarifying that. So the actual total number of mistakenly attempts at voting twice is 101 plus 47. Yeah. Okay. So they're additive. Fascinating. Okay, great. Those were the only questions I had. And other commissioners, no questions on the reports. Okay. We will need to make a motion to approve, and here I'll ask for Attorney Shen's help with the language. A motion to the full commission that the commission certify the election as free, fair, and functional. Is that correct?
I can propose language if it'd be helpful.
Yeah, my one minor suggestion, if you don't mind, Commissioner Jung, is that we probably want to avoid the word certify because the director has already certified the election.
Right.
This is just sort of the commission's role in assessing whether that election was free, fair, and functional. So
Yeah.
the assessment may be a better word. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for
Right.
that.
Yeah, I was going to avoid using that word. Here's my proposal, which is that, I'll just move that BOPEC find and recommend to the full commission a finding that the September 14, 2021 election was free, fair, and functional.
Fabulous. Thank you. Can I get a second?
You did.
Thank you, Commissioner Chapel. Any public comment?
Yes, we have one caller. I'm unmuting you now, caller. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep, David Pilpel. Okay, so I have no objection, and I'm very supportive of the motion. I just had a thought in the future as these, not certifications, let me get it right, assessment of the 3 Fs occur after the election. And I know Director Arntz won't be happy with me, but I think it might be useful to have a 1 or 2 page cover letter from the director that says, you know, you've asked to conduct the assessment. Attached, please find the following referenced reports. I would include the election plan as an attachment there, so anyone who's just seeing this item puts in context that this is the bookend to the election plan that you already adopted, and perhaps have a short section where the director can indicate to the extent that the plan worked or if there were any major hiccups that he wants to point out that would aid in your determination of the 3 Fs. And then at the end, just sort of saying, you know, the determination or the assessment is in the hands of the commission pursuant to Charter Section 13.1, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm thinking back to former Commissioner Donaldson's suggestion that we should, you know, go nationwide or go global with this idea of the election plan. And I think, again, having a cover memo that bookends the thing and sort of says, not only did we put a plan together, we followed the plan, we implemented it, here are the reports, that's how it works. And, you know, maybe then you could say, okay, well, in the next time we have a special election or an election like this in 4 years or blah, 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 maybe we should think about blah, blah, blah. So it leads to more qualitative assessment about how things worked. Anyway, I see you nodding. That's the thought. Has nothing specifically to do with what's before you today. This is all good. It's just things that we can continue to tweak and hone in the future. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Thanks for those suggestions. Any other public comment?
I don't see any other hands raised.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Could you call the vote, please?
Sure. Chair Burnhouse,
Yes.
Commissioner Jung,
Yes.
and Commissioner Chapel.
Yes.
Okay, with 3 in the affirmative, the motion passes.
Great, and thanks again to Commissioner Jung for the language of the resolution and to Director Arndt and the department for running a solid, free, fair, and functional election. Item number 6 is adjournment. So it is 3:20 by the clock on my computer. Thank you all for your time and your service. And Commissioner Jung will be chairing the Elections Commission meeting next week. So have a great meeting, and I'll see you all in November.
And we will have a different start time of 5 o'clock.
Right.
Oh,
Yes.
all right.
Yeah. Notice to everyone that that meeting has shifted times. Thanks to the members of the public. Thanks to everyone. Take good care.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.